Hello, friends. Today, we're going to talk about the Great Pyramid of Giza, a monument that still blows the minds of scholars. Imagine, 4,500 years ago, people without cranes and computers built a structure out of 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block weighs as much as an elephant, and they're fit together so precisely that you can't even slip a blade between them. How is that even possible? The official version says this is the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu. But what if it's not that simple? What if there are hidden chambers inside? What if the ancients used technologies we don't even suspect? And what if the pyramid was built by someone completely different than we think? Today, we'll explore all these mysteries, from impossible construction technologies to secret passages that archaeologists don't want to open. You'll hear facts that will completely change your understanding of the ancient world. Subscribe right now so you won't miss new investigations. And now, fasten your seatbelts. We're in for an incredible journey into the depths of history. Ready? Let's go! The Great Pyramid of Giza is traditionally seen as the greatest tomb of ancient Egypt, built in honor of Pharaoh Khufu, one of the most powerful and mysterious rulers of his time. This hypothesis has become deeply ingrained in both scientific and popular literature, presenting the pyramid as a monumental structure built to ensure the pharaoh's eternal life and symbolize his divine power. However, despite the widespread acceptance of this version, it raises many questions and doubts, leaving room for alternative interpretations and mysteries. The official version is based on archaeological studies, written sources, and historical chronicles, notably the work of the Greek historian Herodotus, who in the 5th century BC described the construction of the pyramids relying on Egyptian oral traditions. According to him, the construction of the pyramid took about 20 years and required the labor of tens of thousands of workers. For many decades, scholars considered this information to be the most reliable. However, the archaeology of the 20th and 21st centuries has cast doubt on many details of this story. First, inside the Great Pyramid, there are virtually no inscriptions or hieroglyphic texts, which is extremely unusual for Egyptian tombs. Usually, the walls of royal tombs were covered with scenes from religious texts, prayers, and depictions of the afterlife, aimed at protecting the deceased and guaranteeing his resurrection. In Khufu's pyramid, such evidence is practically absent, raising doubts about its function as a tomb. Moreover, despite numerous attempts, Khufu's mummy has never been found in the burial chamber, and the chamber itself is either empty or contains only symbolic elements. Secondly, despite the grandeur of the construction, there are no clear historical records from ancient Egypt about such a large-scale project. There are no documents describing the organizational aspects of the construction or the technology involved. Yet it's evident that building such a structure required immense resources, human effort, and time. This is strange considering that in ancient Egyptian culture, the achievements of pharaohs were typically well documented. Furthermore, excavations of the workers' settlement near the pyramids have shown that the builders were not slaves, but skilled workers and craftsmen who received food and medical care. This disproves the old doctrine that slavery was the driving force behind construction, and points to a complex social structure and deep state planning. All this opens the door to other perspectives. Some researchers suggest that the pyramids were not just tombs, but complex symbolic structures with multiple functions: astronomical, religious, and even energetic. There's speculation that the pyramids may have served as temples of knowledge, or centers linking the pharaoh with the cosmos and the divine. Thus, the traditional perception of the Great Pyramid as merely the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu, while still the dominant view in official science, reveals several gaps and unresolved questions. These gaps fuel alternative theories and continue to maintain interest in studying one of the most enigmatic monuments of the ancient world. The grandeur of the pyramid goes far beyond its supposed function, turning it into an internal symbol of mysteries, which humanity continues to explore from different angles. In this context, the pyramid becomes not just an object of archaeological excavation, but a philosophical and scientific challenge, encouraging us to reconsider long-standing views and seek new ways of understanding ancient civilizations. The construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza astonishes with its grandeur and precision, and this is the aspect that raises some of the deepest questions for researchers. How did the ancient Egyptians manage to erect this colossal structure made of millions of stone blocks, each weighing from a few tons to dozens of tons? Conventional ideas about ancient construction methods are insufficient to explain the scale and precision of the Great Pyramid. Millions of stone blocks, which make up the pyramid, were mined, processed, transported, and laid with incredible accuracy. Yet no modern technology could reproduce such work using only the tools that, according to belief, were available to the Egyptians. Wooden pulleys, stone and copper chisels, ropes, and simple levers. Copper tools, although well made, are too soft to create perfectly smooth surfaces on the granite and limestone from which the pyramid is built. Modern engineers using laser scanners have carefully analyzed the blocks and seams of the pyramid. The results showed an astonishing level of precision. Neighboring stones are in perfect contact with one another, with not the slightest gap between them, allowing the building to withstand the test of time, earthquakes, and wear for over 4,000 years. Even with the latest equipment, replicating such work would be nearly impossible. This is due not only to the perfect geometry of the blocks, but also to their flawless fitting, involving the finest stone shaping, often with precision to fractions of a millimeter.
At the same time, questions remain regarding the transportation of the blocks. Many weighed between 2 and 70 tons, and most were mined far from the construction site. Modern hypotheses propose the use of complex systems of ramps, rollers, pulleys, and lubricants to facilitate movement, but the exact methods have never been conclusively determined. Recent research revealing traces of lubricating substances on the surface of sandstone only adds intrigue but doesn't provide a full answer. Some scientists suggest the use of abrasive powders, tools made from stone and copper in complex techniques, and some researchers entertain the possibility that lost technologies or unconventional methods of stone processing, unknown in current sources, were used. The reason why modern science has yet to fully reproduce or accurately explain the pyramid's construction methods remains a subject of discussion and even debate among specialists. For some, this is proof of the extraordinary ingenuity and craftsmanship of the ancient construction teams, while for others, it's evidence of technologies and knowledge lost in history, making it impossible to replicate such achievements today. The history of hidden chambers and sealed doors in the Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the most fascinating chapters of its mysteries. Over many centuries and even decades of research, the pyramid has been repeatedly investigated, revealing new passages and chambers which became windows into the unknown past. But what's interesting is not just the discovery itself, but also the reasons why access to these secret parts of the structure has remained and still remains restricted. The first wave of sensational discoveries is associated with the name of the German engineer and researcher Willy Gantenbrink. In 1993, he developed miniature robots that managed to penetrate narrow ventilation shafts in the pyramid, inaccessible to humans. These devices discovered sealed stone doors that had been previously unknown to researchers. One of these doors contained small holes behind which additional rooms might be hidden. What exactly is stored there remains a mystery, as further access to these chambers was difficult. Modern technologies, such as muon scanning, a method that allows looking inside massive stone structures by detecting the flow of elementary particles, have also revealed voids and unusual spaces within the pyramid. These hidden voids might be connected to yet undiscovered chambers or passages that humanity is unaware of. However, despite the high-tech equipment, the scientific community remains cautious, refraining from hasty conclusions. The reasons for restricting access to such discoveries are varied. First, there's the protection of cultural heritage. Any careless actions could damage this unique object. Second, there are political and bureaucratic barriers related to the responsibility for the site and the Egyptian authorities' staff.
Nevertheless, there's speculation that behind these sealed doors lie important artifacts, ancient texts, or devices that could shed light on the true purpose of the pyramid. Perhaps it is here that the keys to understanding the technologies and knowledge used in its construction are hidden, or answers to questions about the pyramid's purpose, which go beyond the simple tomb. And this is where the special allure of the Great Pyramid lies. Even after thousands of years, it continues to open up new mysteries, inspiring both scientists and enthusiasts to search for answers deep within its stone corridors. The continued research of the Great Pyramid is not just about seeking historical truth, but also a way to better understand the birth of human civilization, its technological and cultural level, as well as humanity's relationship with the world and the cosmos. If you found this story interesting and want to learn more mysteries of the ancient world, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you won't miss new episodes. And now, a question for you. Do you think there could be a technology or knowledge lost in time that helped build the pyramids? Or is everything explained by the hard work and ingenuity of the ancients? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments. I'd love to discuss it.